Drop the roof and let the smoke clear. I got diamonds doing Tootsie slides in both ears. Dice rolling on the Las Vegas strip tonight.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Good morning, y'all. So I am up, y'all, early. I've been up since about almost 6 o'clock, a little bit under 6 o'clock, maybe like 5:40, something like that. And I just been getting ready for the day. I did my I washed my hair in the shower this morning, washed up, did my eyebrows, lashes already attached, and now I'm doing this wig, this hair basically. I'm really not, my hair is different textures all the way around my head, so it's pretty annoying because like let me show y'all my back, the back of my hair and the sides and stuff like that is like really curly, like a little tighter curl than this more like a deep wave. It's like real curly or whatever, and the texture kind of matches this good if I twist it up with some mousse, and it matches really good. But the front just won't get right for nothing. Like my front is the only part of my hair that has more of a, it's straighter. It's not as curly as the sides and back, but it's coarse at the same time, so it just doesn't match. As far as my edges go over here, they're the same as my front, but since they're so thin, it's not really much I have to do to those to make it blend or whatever. But other than that, I'm really feeling this style because I actually want to get, did I mess up my part? I actually want to get some kinky straight bundles and install them, especially for the summertime when the summer come, because y'all know I go to the pool every day. Oh my god, my camera about to die. I'm about to charge it. Y'all know I go to the pool every day, and when I'm at the pool, y'all know how black people in hair is at the pool. So yeah, I'm about to finish my hair, get the day started, and then I'm gonna talk to y'all in a minute because my camera about to die and I didn't even realize. All right, y'all, I don't know what happened between the clip before this and now as to why I lost my voice. I ain't been yelling or nothing. I'm just oblivious to this. I have been having a little bit of a, not even a sore throat, like nothing is sore, but my sinuses has been janky lately, so got that going on. So my throat has been a little, it ain't sore or nothing, it's just been a little off, so I'll just go with that being the reason. But anyways, I just got finished making a few runs. Now I'm about to have lunch with my friend at this place called Bros Burgers. Y'all can see, let me see. Zoom in so y'all can see. Bros Burgers. Y'all can't even see. But yeah, I've been here before, like a real long time ago. I've been here before like a real long time ago with my friend, or she like ordered it for us one time when we came over her house, and yeah, we had it before. But I'm just getting some because I'm hungry. I haven't been eating a lot lately. I literally been eating like one time a day. Ain't been eating much. I've been having so much going on, y'all. So yeah, that is that. I just came on here to just you know, kind of start this vlog off because I haven't vlogged in a few days. I did drop a vlog, but I haven't vlogged to start building up for the next vlog. So I'm gonna be doing a bunch of PR that I have coming in, so I'm gonna have to do a bunch of that soon. I'll probably try to do that on camera, remembering to pick up the camera. I did my little hair today, y'all seen earlier. I just got like my little deep wave bundles in, I sewed them in, and then I got like my perimeter out. I just got like all the way around the front, the back, the whole perimeter out, so I can put into one too if I wanted to. But yeah, I ain't gonna ramble too much because I don't really got nothing to talk about. I'm waiting on my friend to get here. When she get here, we gonna eat, and then I'm gonna go back home and chill. So I'll see y'all in a minute.
Two-time baby girl, you know me.
Y'all, why did my heart just drop when I picked up this camera? I've been dreading this video for 2 months now. As y'all can tell by the title, y'all know that I am in the process of ending my marriage. We are separated at this moment. So much to say. So much been going on. I just don't even know where to start or how to start or what to say, honestly. But I just want to say, when you know that it's God forcing you to move or make a decision that's so hard for you to make, it hurts more and it's harder, because contrary to what you want or what you want to do with the situation, you got to follow what God is telling you to do. And that's who's been leading me in the direction that I am going. This has been a crazy year for me. Y'all know my mom passed back in January, and to say the least, that was probably the hardest thing I had to deal with ever in my life. I'm trying my hardest to get through that. Anytime I talk about my mama, y'all, I get emotional. I think I told y'all before in plenty of videos, and I actually started to talk about her more right before she passed or whatever, and I think it wasn't nothing but me trying to get comfortable, God making me comfortable with telling my story or just speaking out in general, because I actually never really talk about what I went through as a child or growing up, especially not like to an audience. And a lot of things I had just started opening up about that had happened when I was 3 up until a certain age and stuff, and I never really talked about it to anybody. And I actually just started opening up about a lot of different things to certain people and just feeling more comfortable to tell my story. And so it just was such, I'm not gonna say poor timing, because everything happens when it happens and everything happens for a reason. So I had started talking more about it right before she passed, and it just made it even harder because I have so many unanswered questions that I would have wanted to ask her, so many things that I wanted to talk about with her. It's a lot of stuff that she didn't know that happened to me, because she was so consumed in her own life and not being a really good parent and stuff. So it's a lot of stuff that kind of hurts, that's been left unsaid. But maybe one day we will have that conversation. But with that being said, after she passed, it was like literally a light switch was turned on. Like, when I say that, I literally mean that. Like, it was like bling, like when you go in the bathroom and turn on the light so you can use the bathroom. That's just kind of how it was. And it opened my eyes to so much stuff that I've been dealing with or going through, or just in situations that I was in. And I know they wasn't conducive to my life anymore, or it was affecting me negatively. And yeah, so with that being said, I'm forced to make the decision to end my marriage because it's no longer serving me. I just feel like what he wants out of life and what he wants out of a wife, I'm not able to give him. And what I want out of life and what I want out of husband, he's not able to give me. I don't think that we necessarily grew apart. I just think that we tried to make something work that just didn't work. And it's like, even from the beginning of our relationship, we've been together 7 years. We've been married 1 year. In the beginning of our relationship, it was a little different. And I think that moving out here, he had this vision of what he wanted his life to be like and his wife and stuff. And he had already knew that's not what I kind of wanted. to do or how I want it to be, but that's what he wanted, so I tried to be it, and it was ultimately making me more miserable, if I'm being honest. Trying to be as honest as possible. I never wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. I'm grateful to be a stay-at-home mom, don't get me wrong, but I'm a person who's always worked my entire life because I had to depend on myself for my entire life. Oh, hold on, y'all. Y'all, I've been trying to do this video for 2 months, literally, and I don't want to be crying in the video. So anyways, I've had to depend on myself my whole life. Like I said, I did. My dad was, excuse me, my dad was never there, never. I never spent but one summer with him, and it wasn't even alone. He was in a relationship at the time with this lady who didn't really like me. And so it wasn't like I ever had the bonding one-on-one with my dad. He was literally in and always out. Like when he came in, it was for a brief moment, and then he was always out. And then at a time where he could have been in more, he still chose to be out. And what I mean is like that my dad lived in Pontiac our whole life. That's where I was born. And so he ended up moving to Detroit the year before, or the year that I got pregnant with my oldest daughter, and he lived 5 minutes away and still never came to see me. He's only seen my daughter one time out of that entire time. He lived 5 minutes away. He only seen my daughter one time, and that was the day that we moved out here to Washington. He came to my homegoing party, basically. Homegoing, is that like a funeral thing? My going away party, I'll say. So that was the one time. So I never had a father, and both my parents crazily put their spouses before their children. So any spouse that my dad has ever had, she always came before me. Any spouse that my mom had, he always came before me and my brothers. And it was like that our entire life, the entirety of our life. I remember even a time where my dad, I'm nosy as shit, y'all. I'm like really freaking nosy. Like I should have a cap on my nose. It was one time where I was texting him, and I asked him, can I get some money off his bridge card? And I think I said I would pay him for it, but I don't remember. I said $10. So I didn't ask him. I told him $10, and I overread a message in his phone that said, but to his girlfriend basically at the time, that K-Ria want my bridge card, but I'm not giving it to her, I'm giving it to you. And I was just like, damn, $10? But, you know, I don't fault my parents at all. I'm hurt by certain things, but I don't fault them because they're only doing what they were taught. However they were raised is how they chose to reflect their parenting skills on their children. So I really honestly don't fault them. As I got older, I started to understand what it is to be a parent and what it is to have parents who weren't good parents to you. So you don't know how to be a good parent. And I'm just happy that I broke the cycle, like literally broke it into pieces. Okay. So I remember having a conversation when I moved out here after, right before he proposed, or maybe after he proposed, my dad saying something about walking me down the aisle, and I told him that he wasn't walking me down the aisle, and he was hurt by it. And I basically told him, like, how could you give me away to somebody when you never had me? And it hurt his feelings or whatever. But I had to be honest, like, you was never a father to me, so how can I let you give me away to somebody, you know? So we kind of talked about it. And I will say, the times that I did have deep conversations with my dad, he was always so more understanding than my mom. And I understand why. I'll get to her in a minute, but he did say that he basically didn't know how to be a father. So, you know, he only had 2 kids, me and my older brother. And so I kind of like I said, I resonated with it. And so I told him that, you know, in due time, I'll think about it or whatever. And he has started to be better. He really did. He has started to be a not necessarily a better father, because I'm grown at this point and there's really nothing you can do, but he definitely called a lot more, and he always sent the kids something, and I loved it. And I loved it more so because it was some of the most smallest, tedious things. He would send like socks or just one t-shirt, and it didn't matter to me. I still have it to this day. I didn't throw it away because he ended up passing. And I'll talk about that in a second. But like, yeah, he would just send like little random things for his grandkids or whatever. And I loved it. I loved getting the little package in the mail. And I just thought it was the cutest thing because it was him showing up and trying. At least if he wasn't a good father, he could be a good grandfather. And I was so much grateful for that. So, yeah, he ended up. So we talked he passed in October. I think it was the week before he passed. It might have been a week or two before he passed. He had said to me, y'all excuse this bump. I feel like y'all can see it. But he had said to me like he wanted to plan a trip to come visit so he can meet my second daughter, because I had her living out here. And so I'm like, okay, cool. So, I'll help you and I'll just look up the flights and blah, blah, blah. And so he was like, okay. And so literally 2 weeks later, I got a call. It was actually a week later, because I had talked to him like 4 days before he passed or something. And I got a call from one of my uncles who don't call me. Never. I have his number. He has my number, but he doesn't call me. And instantly, I knew what he was calling me for. It was the craziest thing. I just knew. And that day was just me going to do my self-care. I had got my nails done, my hair done, my wax, the whole self-care. And as soon as I walked in the house, my uncle called me and told me my daddy passed away. So it kind of hurt. It didn't, if I'm being completely honest, it wasn't as hard on me as my mom's passing was, but it was hard to know that he didn't get to spend time with his grandchildren. It was more so hard knowing that my kids would never get to experience having a grandfather who was there. Their dad's father passed when he was young, so now my dad is gone, but they never really got to experience having a grandfather. Now I hold on to that so much because I never got to experience having a grandfather. So I always hear people always talk about my granddad bring me money, my granddad do this. Like, granddads are like the best thing to ever have. And so I always wanted to have that, and I didn't, because my dad wasn't really around. So his father didn't really know me, and then his father didn't really know me, and then his mother's father didn't really know me. So I never got to experience having that. So yeah. And then, so yeah, he passed, and that was kind of that. But shortly, me and my mom have these moments where we don't talk for a very long time. But I will say that no matter what I've ever been through with my mom, I've never disrespected her. Never. I probably cussed in a conversation one time, I do remember, but I've never cussed at her, called her out her name, or cussed in conversations when it came to her, because no matter what I've been through, I respect elders. Even elders who are disrespectful to me, a lot of the times I still respect them, because I have this thing for old people. I don't know what it is, but I just love older people, and I love old people. Like, I really do. So I have this thing where they always will get the most respect. I'll say what's on my heart and how I feel, but I will respect you, until the end. So, my mom was severely depressed before she passed. Nobody knows your parents like you do. Nobody knows your kids like you do. And prior to my mom passing, she had called me a couple months before, and she had asked me, she told me I want to commit suicide. She said, I don't want to be here no more. And it broke my heart. And so I told her, it was shortly after my wedding, maybe like 4 or 5, maybe 6 months after my wedding. And I told her that basically I was gonna help her book a flight out here, because My mom also never saw my second daughter, and she's only seen my oldest daughter a few times. Maybe I can count on one, maybe two hands how many times she's seen my oldest daughter before we moved. And she didn't have a relationship with them because she never called them. She never called just to talk to them. She would, even when she would call me to talk to me, she would never be like, let me speak to my grandbaby. She'll just, so every now and again, she'll just say how the grandbaby's doing or something. But as far as having a conversation with them on the phone, she's never, asked to talk to them or nothing like that. And I didn't force it, I felt like if she wanted to talk to them, she would talk to them, or she would call them, or whatever the case may be. So anyways, prior to her passing, she called me a few months and told me she was ready to leave this earth. She was severely depressed. I knew my mom, and my mom is a person who needs love around her, needs people. She always had to have somebody around her. Didn't matter who it was, what it was, mainly who. She had to have somebody around her. And if it wasn't a guy that she was seeing at the time, she had to go and stay with a friend, or a friend needed to come stay with her. She did not like being lonely. And at this time, she was falling out with so many of her friends, and because they were, calling me and inboxing me and letting me know what was going on, and it was like my mom was getting lonely. And so I really won't go into too many of the details with that, because it is family situations, and I don't want to kind of put nobody out there or reveal anything that I know with her being gone. I just don't want to open that box. But I will say, so I told her I'm going to book a flight out here, because the first thing that came in my mind is that my dad passed and didn't get to have his chance with his grandchildren, and he was making the effort to do so. He called me to say that he wanted to come out here and visit with them, or whatever the case may be. And so my first thought was, he passed without having the opportunity, and I don't want the same to happen to my mom. And so I offered it out and told her, we can book you a flight and you can come out here for a week. But me and my mom don't get along like that. We don't argue or fight. It's just that my mom be literally, I see a mosquito and I'm trying to see if it's on the inside of this. It is. Ew. But and now somebody walking in the back way. It look like a DoorDasher. Yeah, so we don't get into it where we arguing or fighting. It's just that my mom was so, I don't want to talk about her while she's not here. I want her coming to be me in my dreams. But she was just so, how do I put this nicely? Needy. Yeah, she was so needy. Can you do this? It wouldn't be a help to me. It would be more like I'm taking care of a third child if she, if we're in the same space. So I'm just a week. You come out here for a week, and then we shipping you back. Just so she can just spend some time. Hopefully her spending time with her grandchildren uplift her spirits and make her feel sometimes I think people don't realize that the loneliness, that if my mom would have clinged to her children more than the men or the people in her and the friends in her life, she wouldn't have been at the place that she was at. I wholeheartedly believe that, because I'm a big emotional person. I love very, very, very hard, but I could never show my mom the love that I wanted to, because I was so hurt by so many things that we never got to resolve or even just talk about. I'm not looking for a resolvement. I always be just looking for acknowledgement. Just acknowledge kind of what you did, or kind of how you made me feel, more so to say, because it's not really what you did, it's how you made me feel in the act of what you did. Because I'm a feeler. So when you do things to me or say things to me, I feel it internally. And so a lot of stuff that I just would never forget. And people be like, girl, why you be holding on to stuff? Listen, it's not about people holding on to things, but when you do something to somebody and you constantly keep doing something to somebody, it's going to be hard for them to forget. That's like you cheating on a person and you say, okay, I will never do that again to you. But then you go cheat again. Do you think they're going to forget about the first time you cheated? No, you keep repeating that cycle of doing exactly what you knew hurt that person. So when people say to me like, oh, why you always hold on? You hold grudges or you hold on to things. It's not even that. It's just that you constantly keep doing the same thing, the same caliber of the first situation. So I can't get over the first situation because now you bringing the second one to my face. So not necessarily did my mom like continue to bring things, more of the fact that it was all things that happened when I was a child. But anytime I would try to talk about these things with her, she deflected and she tried to act like it never happened, or kind of normal things that parents be embarrassed about. And so I'm learning so much, y'all. But like I said, I wanted her to experience her grandchildren. Basically, I felt like if she would have clinged to her family more, she probably would still be here, if I'm being honest. And I was so hoping that she had survived the accident because I really wanted to take care of her. I really wanted to take care of her so badly because I wanted to show her a love that I never showed her before, because I felt like it would have been different. It would have changed her perspective. It would have changed her life. And she could have been shown the love that I always wanted to give her. But I couldn't show her the love that I wanted to give her because I felt like it would be fake. A lot of the times I made myself believe that I didn't love her or that I wouldn't care if she passed. Not necessarily that I didn't love her, because I always loved her. But I thought, I'm not gonna say I made myself believe, because I really thought that I didn't care about her as much. I was hoping that this video was not gonna be this long, but I was really under the impression that if my mom passed, it wouldn't bother me as much because we didn't have a close relationship. But it doesn't matter, y'all. It don't matter. For people who watching this and you and your mom ain't that close, and you be like, in your mind thinking like, oh, it's not gonna bother me. Do it bother you, okay? Like, real bad. So, long story short, back to what I was saying. I told her I would book the flight for her to come out here for a week or whatever. And it was some crazy stuff happened afterwards. They kind of put her in the hospital for making those, because she called. I wasn't the only person that she called and said that she didn't want to be here no more and she wanted to commit suicide. She called some of her other friends, in which they called me, and they called the police on her and let them know. And they ended up talking to me over the phone, and she was so mad at me, but I definitely told them to take her to the hospital. I'm like, take her, because she's talking like this, and of course that's not what we want. So after that, she didn't talk to me for a minute. So moves on to Christmas time, where she started back talking to me around Thanksgiving. And I noticed the behavior switch in her, where she started to do things that she would have never done if she was well. She was unwell when she passed, and I'm just going to use the word unwell so I don't have to explain any of her personal details or anything personal, but she was unwell. And me and my brothers all knew, because like I said, she was doing things that's not in her character, or just things that she would have never done if she was well. And so she ended up being in a house fire on January 1st, and she ended up passing 16 days later on January 17th. And it was so hard for me because, one, no matter what kind of parent she was, she did not deserve to go out like that. I'll stand on any pedestal and say that she didn't deserve that. The last vision I have of my mom is probably the worst that you can have of a person. She definitely didn't deserve that. Me trying to get through a video without crying is crazy. But I was also battling so much during the time of my mom's passing because I had to make all the decisions when I knew very little about her lifestyle because I chose to be away from anything that my mom had going on because it was just never something that I wanted for my life. So my mom was very, 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 very secretive with me. My brothers knew more about everything than I did ever because she would call me bougie. And I think that my mom was so afraid of me judging her, but not really knowing the type of daughter that she had because I'm the least judgmental person you'll ever meet. I just always wanted my mom to do better. Like I always wanted better for her. And I think that she was so afraid to tell me things because she thought I would judge her and I wouldn't. Like I'm the type of person that want to know what you've been through. Like I want to know how you overcame it. Like my grandma would be the first to say, and this is not something that I'm putting out there. My grandma would be the first to say how she kicked drugs herself. Like, and I used to love that about my grandma. She would walk around and tell anybody, I smoked such and such for da-da-da-da years. And one day I just was like, I'm done with this and blah, blah, blah. And so that was one thing I would say about my grandma. She was proud of how she overcame what her struggles was. And my mama just wasn't there yet. She wasn't because even when we would have conversations, and these are things that I know to be true for sure, things that my dad told me at the time that they were together, or just things in general, I knew that certain things that she experienced, and she would lie to me, and I'd just be like, oh my God. And back then I just didn't really understand why she would lie to me about it, because it's like, Mom, you went through it and you passed that. Like, just tell me the truth. But now growing up, she was just embarrassed. She didn't want to tell me. She didn't want me to look at her like that. And that was the whole opposite of how I would have looked at her. I would have looked at her as a strong woman, because you went through things that a lot of people can't say that they did, and you tried your best with what you had. You tried. And she did. She had her times where she did try to be a good parent. It was just her battles and things that she experienced and went through, it made it hard for her. So, and I understand that now. So I'm at peace with that. Like I said, I cried now because I do wish it was things that we could have talked about, or things that we could have shared with each other, like even the trauma that I experienced in the household, relating to her not paying attention to me, and literally not paying attention to me, like being up under the guys or whatever. And I just wish that we could have. Other than that, I don't fault her, I don't blame her or nothing. Like, I'm good. I made peace with everything, and I'm okay, really. With that being said, I started to see things in my marriage that I wasn't okay with no more, and I wasn't happy with. I'm just at the point in my life where I just want to be happy. I just really, truly want to be happy. It was so hard to make this decision, extremely hard, because this is a family that I built. And what I mean by I built, I mean like I tried so hard to keep together, even given up my entire life. Like, he asked me to come out here with him, and I gave up my career, my whole career. I had a career. I'm a licensed cosmetologist. I built my clientele from the ground up, and I gave it up for love and to be, I don't know how to say it. I just gave it up to follow him and, I don't know, have the family life, I guess. That was never my intentions, though. I always wanted to start back working, but he was bent on me being a stay-at-home mom, and I was just trying to do whatever I could to make my marriage work, even though those weren't things that I really wanted to do, or make my relationship work, because I wasn't married at the time. But I just felt like I was trying to do everything I could to make the relationship work or whatever, and to the point it started making me completely unhappy. And I've made peace with this situation so much, to the fact of, I don't look at nobody as being anything but who they are. He is who he is. I am who I am. What he wants out of life and what he wants out of a wife, he should have that. And I'm just coming to the realization that it's not me. I'm not willing to do the things that I used to do anymore. I'm kind of at a space where I want to be selfish. For 4 years, I thought about nothing but my husband and my kids. Anything that I had to do to make sure they were okay, to please them, to make sure they were good. Being a stay-at-home mom is probably the hardest job you can ever do, because nothing is about you ever anymore. Like, you literally live and breathe your family when you're a stay-at-home mom, or when you're a mom in general. And this is for all moms, but when you're a stay-at-home mom, it's like 10 times harder. I came to a place where I had no friends and no family, which I was never content with. He was more so okay with that, because he's always been a loner, homebody, inside type of person anyway. Whereas I love to be around family. I love family functions, gatherings, and doing things. I'm just seeing now that we are just two different people, and we want two different things, literally. And I felt like I bent so much to try to fit in to his world and what he wanted, that I lost myself, period. So, giving up what I truly loved doing. I loved being a hairstylist, and more than anything, I loved having those interactions with my clients, whereas they were like, they confided in me about so much, and I just loved talking to people and just having that company, to just only being a mom and not having nobody to talk to but my children, because I moved out here and didn't have friends or family out here, even though I made a couple beautiful souled women, to be exact, and they are great women, great friends, but it's just still, and I didn't meet them until years after being here. The first one I did meet in the first year, but we didn't become close until like 2 years later. So we've been probably close the last 2 years. But I don't know. Try being a stay-at-home mom, but try being a stay-at-home mom in a state where you know nobody, literally nobody. For my very first year here, I didn't barely leave the house. I didn't go out the house after 4 o'clock. Number one, I was pregnant when I first moved here. I was pregnant. I got pregnant the day before moving here. I got pregnant, and I was pregnant for 9 months. So I was extremely scared to leave the house. I didn't know nobody. I didn't know, like, if I was in what was considered the hood or the suburbs. Like, I literally didn't know nothing. So I didn't leave the house for a whole freaking year almost, like as far as like going no places. And I was in the house just being a stay-at-home mom and wife. And then when my second daughter was born, she had so many I'm not gonna call them complications, I'll call them challenges and things that went on. So it took my mental way differently, whereas I couldn't even focus on anything but taking care of her, because she was like, it was so hard. I got maybe 3 hours of sleep a day with her. I didn't have no help. He was in training and working a lot, so I had to basically do a lot by myself. At one point, I was at doctor's appointments once or twice a week for her. So I was consumed by my family, never thinking about me, never being able to do anything that I wanted to do or things that I wanted to experience. Since living out here in the last 4 years, we've been out as a family maybe 4 times. We've been out together by ourselves twice. And that's in 4 years that we've lived out here. So I've been literally confined to the apartments that we stayed in for 4 years, like not experiencing anything hardly. And the most that I did experience was going to the pool every day. That was my joy. Going to the pool and taking my children to the pool every day. So much so that my oldest daughter knows how to swim, and she can swim in 5 feet. That's how often I went to the pool without a lesson in sight, okay? And so, yeah, that was basically my life. And I don't think nobody really understands the pressure or what I endured or experienced during these 4 years, because you have to be in it in order to understand it. I can tell you what I want to tell you, but you have to actually be in it to understand what a person goes through. And I had like so many, you took a person who worked all her life just about. I think I had my first job at 12 years old, and a hustler. I was a hustler because I had to, my mom wasn't, doing for me, and then it was just a lot like that I had went through. And so I always wanted to always take care of myself. Like I always had to go out there and get it on my own. And so you took a woman like that from being a person who is used to fending for herself and depending on herself to pushing her into this family role. And I battled with so much trying to, again, be what they needed me to be and losing myself. Like I always still wanted to work. But every time I felt like I could get a chance to try and find a job or do something or I couldn't. I had no space to do so. I was confined to being a stay-at-home mom and wife. And also, he didn't want that. So I was trying to be what he wanted me to be while losing myself, like I said. So when my mom passed, it was like a switch. It was literally a switch. It was like, this is not conducive to your life no more. This is not, you're breaking down. And it was like, for me, at a time where I needed people most to rally around me and just be there for me and comfort me, I got the opposite. Like, I literally got the opposite. And so it just opened my eyes to a lot of things. And it brings me to this. So, like I said, I've been separated for 2 months. There's no going back for me. This decision is set in stone and final, which is why I'm finally talking about it. Because I've made peace with it and I'm not mad about it. I actually feel amazing. Let me tell y'all, this last 2 months have been nothing but amazing for me. And y'all would think I'm just having the time of my life, and it's the opposite. I'm just feeling relaxed, stress-free, not having to do what everybody else want me to do and just be able to do what I want to do for once. And which is nothing. You know, every now and again I might go to a restaurant and sit by myself and eat, or go with one of my friends and just sit there and eat or something. But majority of the time I'm just in the house and I feel so free, you guys. Like, I feel so good. I just don't even know how to express to y'all how I feel. Mentally, I felt free. Like, it didn't matter what the devil tried to throw at me. I threw it back. Like, I just shut my mouth. Like, I didn't give nothing my energy. That's what I'll say. I gave nothing my energy. I didn't care what it was. If it felt negative, if it felt draining, I gave it to God. Like, I did not engage in any type of negative conversations, activities, nothing. Do you hear me? Silence is golden, and the silence is golden for you, not for anybody else. When I tell y'all, it felt good. You ever been in a situation where you in a fight and you arguing with somebody? Not even a fight, you're arguing with somebody, and then you go home and you be like, damn, I should have said such and such and such and such, and now you mad because you didn't say everything that you needed to say. It was like, I was so happy I said nothing. I felt even better than I would have by saying something, by saying nothing. It was like when you get to a point where all you want is peace, nothing else matters. Whatever the argument was about, or whatever the situation was, it was just like, oh, okay. I'm not arguing about it. I don't care. It is what it is, because it's going to be what it's going to be. It's going to be what it's going to be anyways. So why am I sitting here arguing? So like I said, I'm just at the place where I just want to be truly happy. I'm a type of person, and I've always been like this. I can be rich or poor. As long as I'm happy, I'm okay. Like, people don't even understand that. And people don't understand that about me, because you're under the impression that you've done all these things, financial things, or you've done all these materialistic things. And I've never been a materialistic woman my entire freaking life. I'm a person that is content with what God blessed me with, and I don't need much more. As long as I'm comfortable and happy, I'm okay. Like, I don't need these big grand gestures. I don't need you to buy me this or that or do these things for me. I just need you to make me happy. I'm a person who thrives off love, affection, and romance. Like, I love that. Like, that is me my whole life. I look at y'all, I love Bridgerton. I love this show. This is probably the best show I've ever watched in my life. And I just sat there. I have never, outside of Blacklist, I love Blacklist, that's my top show. But outside of Blacklist, I've never sat and watched a whole nother series over. And I just sat and watched it from episode 1. That's how much I love that show. And I love how they, back then, and I'm about to try to end this because I didn't want this video to be a freaking hour. But anyways, back then, everything was about building, keeping on the family name and marrying somebody of wealth. And no matter if you was in love or you wasn't in love, you just married them just to one, be inside of a royal family, or, family of high status, or to carry on the name. They always looked at for women to be, bless you with a son, so the name will carry on, that type of thing. And I love when I see the couples that actually fall in love with each other versus thinking about what their status could be like. And there's some of them on there who are falling in love with people who have no ranking or nothing, and they're just in love. And that is me 100%. I can be rich and I could be poor. As long as I'm happy and in love, I am okay. I'm not a person who requires much out of life. And I'm learning these things too about me as well. Like, I don't require much. I really don't. I'm a very minimalist woman. Like, it don't take much to make me happy. I'm one of those women that'll get happy if you set up a beautiful date night on a balcony and we just sit there and talk all night. Or I'm one of those women who, I can be having a rough day and chocolate is my favorite, and so you just come home with chocolates. Those things light me up, not you buying me the most expensive thing in the world and bring it. If there's no love for me, there's no finance. Like, I love. I'm a person of that. And so I've just been over here learning what I love, learning what I like, and being so happy with it. Like, literally the happiest I ever been in a long time. Like, being content with yourself and happy with yourself is probably the biggest blessing you can ask for. Like, and once God started to try and show me what I really wanted and what I really needed, it was over for anything else. Because now I'm learning myself and I'm understanding. Like, I feel so good. Like, I've been just growing my relationship with God more. I pray all day, every day. Like, I'm praying throughout the day, y'all. Like, literally walking around and being like, oh, thank you, God, for whatever you're doing in my life today. Or thank you, God, for just blessing me and waking me and my family up this morning. Like, literally just all throughout the day. And hearing from him, literally actually hearing from him through different messages and stuff like that. Like, it's been truly amazing. So I'm on here to tell y'all, I don't want y'all feeling bad for me. I don't want y'all, it took a long time to get to this point, because obviously I wanted the fairy tale ending. I never wanted to be without the person that I had children with. Never. That was never my, the way I seen my life going. Like, but when you are unhappy, or you learn that something is not for you anymore, and there's nothing you can do about it, and it's like, you're going to continue to be uncomfortable until you make yourself comfortable, period. Like, if I would keep trying and pushing on this marriage to work when I already know, like I said, when my mom passed, it was a light switch. If I continue after that light switch turned on to keep trying and trying, there's no telling where I would be right now. There's no telling where my mental would be at this moment. Like, it probably wouldn't be good. So with me being in a much better space and thought process, I knew that was the decision that I needed to make. And it hurts to see the life that I wanted with marrying the person that I had children with. Like, I definitely wanted that, and I definitely wanted him to be my forever. But what we want is just different, and I'm learning that. And he has every right to want what he wants. He has every right to get what he desires out of a woman, and I feel that I have the same. And it's just not me. And I think we both understand that now. I think he's basically verbalized that to me, that whatever, it's just not me, and he's not it for me either. So I'm okay. I'm doing swell today. Every day is different. I seem to only really get emotional when it comes to my mom. I haven't really felt the emotions behind this separation or anything yet. I'm sure in due time it'll come. But I think that right now God just has me being strong enough to make the proper decisions that I need to make and think with my head and not my heart. I really believe that I haven't felt anything because he needs me to be strong enough to continue to make the decisions that I need to make following this separation. So I really only get emotional when I think about my mom or talk about my mom in situations. I don't really get emotional with this situation because I know in my heart this is what I'm supposed to be doing and this is how it's supposed to go. So with that being said, I wanted to get this video out before I started back creating content because life has been so much different in the last 2 months. So it won't be the same content that y'all used to seeing, which is my stay-at-home mom and wife content. It's gonna be all over the place content. Sometimes I might be talking too much. Sometimes I might be outside enjoying the pool or the weather. I don't know what is to come from here, but I don't want y'all feeling bad for me or nothing like that. I'm doing good. I'm feeling good. I'm actually feeling amazing. Like, this is no lie. This is no joke. This is no put on for no camera or nothing. I feel good. Like, this is the best I felt in a long time. It really is. I'm happy that I still have people around me, because it's hard knowing you don't have the two people on this earth that will love you to the end of time. Like, it's no wrong that I can do. I can kill somebody tomorrow, God forbid, and I never want to do that. But I can kill somebody tomorrow and my mom and dad will still love me. You know what I'm saying? And to not have them on this earth with me, whether we had a good relationship or not, that hurts. It does. And I don't really have my grandma had 3 children only. Never really had super close relationships with those aunties. My uncles, I only have a really close relationship with one. The rest of them don't really have a really close relationship. So I'll say through this journey that I've been on at this moment, it's only been my one auntie on my grandfather's side, like on my mom's dad's side, that side, and then my uncle on my dad's side that I've been talking to consistently, and they've been, you know, backing me in my corner. And then I have my in-laws. They all been very great, helping me and just being there for me, or whatever the case may be. But it's hard. It's hard to be a little bit alone in the situation, but it makes you stronger. It makes you it builds character. It makes you strong enough to overcome things and situations. Like, it lets you know that you can get through it. You can get through it. And I'm feeling so motivated and so strong to make these decisions that I have to make, and just do what I have to do to be happy again, and to be happy again. Like I said, I feel great. I feel great. I feel good. I feel amazing. I know that my mom and dad is my spiritual ancestors. They're above me. They're watching me. They're protecting me. And that feels good to know. Like, I have people on the other side that's making sure that I'm okay and that I'm safe and that I'm doing good, and still trying to be the best mama I can be to those girls that love me through ins and outs. So with that being said, y'all, I'm gonna end this video. I've talked way too much. I did not expect. I wanted to do like 20 minutes of talking, and it went on to like 40 or 50. So I'm sorry, but I love y'all. Y'all can leave me some positive comments down below. No negativity, y'all. I'm on a whole different wave, and I ain't for that. Like, my vibration is up here. I ain't low vibrating no more. Like, we up here with it. So I love y'all so much. If you stayed around and waited it out for this video, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all, and I'm about to start probably trying to get back into it full force as much as I can with everything going on, and just keep y'all on my journey of what's about to go on from here on out. So yeah, I love y'all so much, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Good night.
Fall, come to mind, the cash